Okay, we are here. We are live. It is Tuesday. It is Mixing It Up Day. How's everybody doing?
They're here. They're queer.
Yes, Anthony Ramella. Nobody wants to see Whitmore's face ever. Just putting that out there. Alrighty. So yeah, we're gonna be doing some mixing. As you guys saw last week, we took a recipe that was suggested to us on the what I can make. And on this week's episode, we're gonna do our personal take on the same exact recipe. We'll see how this turns out. We'll even talk about a little bit of our process because we were kind of discussing it before the show. And I want to put that out there. And also Mitch kind of jumped in late, so he didn't get to enjoy in that. So we'll do a little bit of that. So first off, you guys, let's see. Mitch, you look busy. Sifu, you want to start us off on what I've been mixing?
I ain't mix shit.
Yeah. Oh no, yeah. He was tearing down trees and stuff.
Before the chaos, I did mix the mix from last week, obviously, even though I was absent. But then I did tackle the tiger's blood, okay, that I'm calling that bitch Carol Baskin, and I used the I used it was a kind of a commission.
I thought Mitch
from
was
a
gonna
customer.
laugh first on that one.
So it was kind of a commission, as one of my customers was just like, hey man, you ever done a tiger's blood? I was like, no, but I do like, not strawberry too much, but I do like watermelon and coconut. So I did tackle that, and I did order some of Flavor cream that kind of mimic the condensed milk version of it, and actually it came out pretty good. My brother-in-law was like, this is awesome, and I had to make a big one for him, so I did mix that. And I did reformulate the banana roots, the banana root beer. This is my second 60, and so I killed the first one in a week, and then I got the Mullenberry soft banana in, and I kind of retooled the percentages a little less root beer, more banana, and it's all I've been vaping nonstop. That's it. That's all I've been vaping. So really enjoying this. I did make myself some more cactus. I had ran out of it, and I did that in anticipation of the GT4 coming in. That's what I'm going to want to put in it. So, yeah. So, but that's been about it. Since Thursday, I've been doing nothing but tending to the storm mess. So that's it. Chris looks like he's ready.
Yeah, I'm totally ready. I'm ready as ready can be. All right. Well, what's up, everybody? So this past week, what have I been mixing? There's been a couple of things I've been working on. Actually, I've went back through, and I made a promise to myself. I said this before, that I made a promise to myself that I was going to make sure that all the stuff that I put up from the show is going to get a little after show love, because I mean, some of them are pretty good off of the shake, off that first attempt, but y'all know that I can get better if I put more time into it. So that's what I've been trying to do. One thing that I've really been enjoying is actually, I was telling Sifu before the show, it was the one that I did on episode 10, and I can't remember what I called it. It's like a pear cinnamon Danish. And so I've done like a few minor tweaks that I actually haven't like put on yet. I just took my notes down, so I haven't implemented them into the system. But that's something that I was messing with. Other than that, I've been just doing some mixing stuff in the last week. I've just done some mixing of some recipes that I know and I like, and just building up some stock for myself. So as you guys know, I'm a big dessert custard fan. So lots of those things need a little bit of time to really get to the point where I enjoy them the most. So every so often I dig deep, I just get out a bunch of stuff, and I mix up like 8, 10, 60 ml bottles, because I actually don't like 120s or 100s. I think that they just drip terrible, and I am a dripper and a mech tube guy. So 60 mils are what makes the most sense to me. So that's really what I've been up to, just kind of few minor tweaks and then building up some stock. How about you, Mitch?
I want to say, hold on, before you get to Mitch, I want to say you were right about the Zeppela and the Poodoo donuts a few weeks back. That cinnamon is gone. Is gone. So
It was
you were
probably
right.
delicious.
It's actually, you know, you were talking about your steep closet. We were talking about that in Discord. You know, it's like I was digging through stuff. I was like, I'm out of stuff. I'm lazy. I'm busy. I don't feel like. It's like, oh, what the hell is in this? I didn't even label the bottle. I was like, oh, what's this? I tasted it.
Mystery
Like,
juice.
oh shit. I was like, oh shit, that's that freaking donut. That's good. I was like, so I dripped it for a little while and it worked out. So thank you for that recommendation. The Zeppela's baller.
Hey, you know what? Recommendations are only good if you heed them. So just remember that.
Yeah. Ooh, wise word.
Dropping that knowledge right there.
All right. Sorry to
Take it away,
interrupt.
Mitch.
No, you're good.
So yeah,
This weekend I did. This weekend I did a bunch of mixing. I think the final total Sunday evening I did somewhere around 45, 60 mils.
Holy.
It was quite the weekend. Yeah, I mixed a bunch of I made probably what's nice is I have 2 scales, so I was doing, if I had multiples of the same thing, I was doing 2 bottles at a time. But I mixed a little bit of everything. I did, since I got a bunch of new flavors in, I did rework some stuff, and I'm pretty happy about it. Did a revision to the Balboa. I did a revision to that cranberry and cranberry guava custard, because now I have like 4 or 5 different cranberries. Although one of them's like a cranberry cocktail and one of them's a cranberry jam, and then a couple of them are just regular cranberry. But reworked those. Did a little bit of adding because I got the Flavora, I think it's Flavora pumpkin bread, and I liked the way that smelled, and I added a little bit of that to the pumpkin spice cheesecake to hopefully give the pumpkin side a little bit more beefiness to it. As Sifu likes to say, the meat. The meat of it.
Yeah, we were talking about that. We were talking about that with the mind bender.
Yeah.
This is some melon.
Speaking of Mindbender, that's basically been the only thing I've been vaping on since I opened the package on Saturday evening. I'm over halfway done with my 60 mil. Hey, people in the chat, this is the best cactus flavor I've ever vaped, and I think I've vaped probably like 6 or 7 different ones, and this is the one. This is the one.
Thank you.
It's fan-fucking-tastic. I thought about messaging you and telling you, just throw my package away. I'll send you money to pay for these. My shit's shit. This is delicious. But
Don't you hate
I'll let
that
you be
moment?
the judge. Yeah. You're like, oh, man, this is really good. Like, I hope he's not disappointed in my shit.
Thank you very much. Actually,
yeah, absolutely.
I've been vaping fruit baskets too, Jay. That's tasty.
I still need to remake that for myself because when I made yours, I edited it like on the fly, and I was like, "Well, we'll see if this turns out
That's
good."
lovely.
And then
That's lovely.
I redid the rectum balls, and I'm vaping on that. And dude, seriously, like my level went from here to here. Just saying.
Dude, I'm excited. I liked your original, so if it got better, I'm happy about that.
It's brought up more of the creaminess, the key liminess. It's amazing.
Yeah, I made a little bit of everything. Basically, yeah. I made a bunch of raspberry cheesecake. I made some Just a Dream, some of the basic bitch, a couple bottles of sour blue raz, a bunch more mixed berry. I did another version of the mango lemonade. I was happy with the version 2, but I was happy with the mango side of the version 2. I wasn't happy with the lemonade side. So I lowered a little bit of a couple of the flavors on the mango, the fruit side, and then raised a little bit of the citrus stuff. And I'm hopefully finding the balance on version 3. yeah, I was mixing like a goddamn madman. I had the house to myself, and no kid. It was mix on.
Hey, oh yeah.
But
Hey, and also, Mitch, just to let you
Busy
know,
beaver.
if you're mixing like a bunch of bottles of the same flavor, it's pretty simple for you to fit 460s on most scales. And you literally just go like, okay, 1.2, and you go 1.2, then you go 2.4, and then you go 3.6, 4.8. Boom, flavor's done. Put that to the right. Now you can go, and it speeds it up way more. I learned that a long time ago when I was making a bunch of liquid. Actually, I think that it was when I took a bunch of liquid to NVE, and I was mixing like 20 bottles of two or three different flavors. And so I just put 4 bottles on, and it would just go that way, and it worked way faster than doing 1 bottle at a time.
One
Yeah,
shot.
put your concentrates, batch them. Batch your concentrates. You're in 120.
yeah, I've been thinking about that. I seriously think that I maybe have two recipes that I'm like that I think I'm happy with enough to not tweak them anymore. Although because I am constantly tweaking everything, so I haven't jumped into the making a concentrate like that yet, but hopefully soon.
Well, dude, even if you're going to be making like this past weekend, you must have made multiple bottles of certain things. Like you could have just done all the flavorings in a 30 ml bottle and then just weighed each one afterward. You know what I
True.
mean? It would speed
Yeah.
you up there. It doesn't mean you have to have like a 120 or a 60 filled with the one shot, if you will.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that's about it for me.
Busy beaver, overachiever.
Absolutely.
Oh man. Alrighty. As for me, I remade the Wonderberry crepes that I had done on Fresh Show. I did a 60 mil because I liked it that much, and then I redid a 60 mil of the Drunken Apple Cakes, and I've already gone through about that much. And that, if that says anything, and we've been actually talking about some of the recipes we've done, and some of that are actually going to go official into the line. And I think that one is a newbie. It's going to go into the official line, so we'll see how this goes. But I'm
Nice.
digging it. It's got like a very apple fritter kind of thing going on. I don't know, just liking it. And then, like I said, I redid the rectum balls. Got that going in this bottle here. And I think that's about it. Then, like, I sent out a bunch of stuff last week, so hopefully, James, let me know if you got yours or not. I know, Anthony, you got yours, and for some reason, Corey got his in like 2 days. I don't get it. Like everybody else, it took like a week, and then his took like 2 days to get to Chicago. I don't get it. I hate the
Mitch's
USPS.
liquids. Yeah, Mitch's liquids is literally sitting a block from me.
Mm-hmm.
They're just sitting there.
Mm-hmm. I hate it.
Like,
I hate
oh, it's a mixed berry. Now I'm gonna go break in tonight and get the mixed berry.
Oh man. Alrighty, so let's just jump into this whole mixing thing. Mitch, you want to start us off here?
Yes, absolutely. So I like it, even with how heavy they went on the percentages. I do like. I've been vaping it steady. I'm about halfway through the 30 mil of last week's. And what's funny is I added 4 flavors, and my percentage of flavors only went up 0.25. So I took it from 4 to 8. Originally, it had Italian lemon, Sicily from Capella, lemon lime Capella, pink lemonade Capella, and super sweet. And on top of that, I added pink lemonade from Liquid Barn, sour mix from Liquid Barn, Flavor West natural lemonade, and Max Dew from Flavor West. And I'm excited about it. I like lemonades, and that one, it's too candied for me. It reminds me of the old school like lemon drop candies. Anthony Romello last week asked about like lemon heads, but lemon heads have that sourness to them, whereas this is just straight sweet lemon.
Yeah, it's got that weird
Um,
soft outer coating that is just so tart.
It made you feel
Yeah.
like a 21-year-old chick at a cowboy bar.
Lemon
Yeah,
drops.
I like how you didn't get that joke. Oh man.
Yeah, but I'm excited to see how this goes. Yeah. Sorry, I'm all scatterbrained. I didn't get into the group with everybody till about 5 minutes before we were supposed to roll.
He didn't get to do the
But-
warm up with
Dude,
us.
you're good. I mean, making
But
sense.
what about you,
I'm
Chris?
picking up what you're putting down. Okay, yeah. So last week I mixed up. It was like a Kanzi clone by 12 or a 12 Monkeys Kanzi clone, and okay. So when I first mixed it, I don't want to say that I immediately was like, "This is bad." I immediately thought, "This is sweet." I still currently think that it's incredibly sweet. Now, is it bad? No, it's not bad. It's too sweet for me that it kind of ruins it. So there's the way angle that I took was I kept the same profile, but I honestly used one of the same ingredients. Because like I said, it's not like it tasted bad. It's just there were certain things like when I vaped it, I tasted almost no watermelon, even though there was 5% watermelon, but there was like 6% between the different strawberries, and I just so much sweetener that like when I would vape it, it would just be like this super sweet, kiwi strawberry. Really, honestly, like I barely got any watermelon. So I'm not saying that it was bad, but you know what? If it has 5 stars, I think that all of us should probably have some 5-star recipes because I don't think that it was that great. Anyways, enough of that. I will say, so yes, like I said, I just decided to keep the same profile. But there's only one recipe on here, or sorry, one ingredient in my mix that's the same, and that's the Capella Sweet Watermelon. So I'll just read my recipe down. So to go for my watermelon, I went with big watermelon from Mullenberry because I like it. I put it in at 1%. Then I put in 1.25% of Capella Sweet Watermelon and 2% of VSO watermelon. Then for my kiwi, I just put in 2% kiwi from VSO. I've not used it yet. That might be too strong. I'm not too sure. And then for my strawberry, I'm using some strawberry from VSO at 1.25% and strawberry red touch from Flavor Art at 1.75%. And instead of using 4% sweetener, I decided that I would go with 0.5% of Capella Super Sweet. And I think that that'll probably be good for me. And that it went from 19%, which is what the original recipe was, to this is 9.75%. And that's what I got going on. So yeah, I like halved the amount of flavorings in it, and I definitely lowered the sweetener level by a lot.
Awesome.
Seafood?
Great. So last week I wasn't here, but I drew a mix called Ella's Shortbread Biscuit. And it had 151 comments and a 5-star rating. So I was like, yeah, let's give that a go. When I originally mixed it, I didn't drip it on a fresh Addy. I dripped it on something that I was already vaping. I was like, yeah, this is freaking legit. I mean, I could see, what's going on. Well, last night, I wicked up a new atomizer. It's been sitting for a week. I mixed it the night after the show. And I just labeled it biscuit. And I dripped it into my barrage, and I was greeted with raw pastry dough. It's sharp. It's got some bite, and it's the opposite of sweet. Whatever the opposite of sweet is, this is it. This is not sweet. This is unsweet. It's like seriously, if you're a baker and if you made biscuit dough or a pie crust dough and you tasted it to see, if it was too much vanilla or something. That's what it tastes like. It's a little dry. It's got a flowery note, just a raw dough note. And I could see that it would be useful with a fruit stone, or maybe even, some type of sweet component. It would be pretty good. But on its own, and people were like, this is the best thing ever, like best ever, all day vape, all day, every day, and twice on Sundays. But look, an Advocate, not even savory. It's not, it's just sharp
Dough.
and unsweet. It tastes like dough. Like it tastes like unsweet dough, not even savory.
Yeah.
So the original mix, let me pull it up. And it was AP at 0.5%, 1.5% of biscuit Inuara, 1% of Shisha vanilla, 4% of sugar cookie V1 from Cap, and 2% of vanilla custard Capella original. All right, so I decided to sub the Cap with custard premium. I cut the AP to 0.5%. I cut the biscuit to 1.5%. I added honeycomb because I think biscuits and honey are kind of a natural pairing from VTA. I dropped the Shisha vanilla because I was getting that sharp, vanilla extract itself, and Shisha vanilla is basically a bakery vanilla. It is, go to the store, get vanilla concentrate. That's what Shisha vanilla tastes like. And it was just too bitter. It was spicy and weird. So that's why I dropped it to 0.5%. I dropped the sugar cookie to 2.5%, and I added super sweet at 0.5%. So I'm hoping that I get some honey notes off of this. And I'm really hoping that it would be a good stone to add a fruit or a tobacco to. That's the hope for it, because honestly, don't get me wrong. I mean, it was balanced, for what it is. It's just, it was too, like our very first mix on this show, I made that gin mix. And the problem with it was that it was too much like straight gin. It was too authentic.
Yeah.
And I think that's the problem with this mix. It's a biscuit dough, like a shortbread biscuit dough. So I think that was my issue with the original. So I hope a little sweetness, a little richness will turn this into a good stone for something else. So I'm going to go.
Nice.
Clown, your turn.
Alrighty, so my original mix was only, what was it again? It was only 4 flavorings coming in at 13% total. I went back through, edited. I kept the base, the 4 original flavors. I kept them in there because I did think they played with each other well enough, but it was just missing a lot of body to it. And maybe I feel like I over-engineered this to a point, but even then, at the same time, probably not. We'll see. I feel like this every week we do this. I'm like, I'm overdoing this, but whatever. We'll see how this turns out. So I upped how many flavorings are in it, but my percentage went down. It went from 13% to 8.5%, even though I added a fuck ton of flavorings. So I did 0.75% of the Bavarian cream, 0.75 of the original caramel from TFA. Both those are TFA flavorings. Then I did 1.5 of the Flavora cheesecake, 1.5 of the cheesecake graham crust from TFA, and then the Lorenz cheesecake at 1.5%, and then the cinnamon Danish at 0.75, cinnamon sugar from Capella's at 0.5, graham cracker from Flavora at 0.5, and graham cracker V2 from Capella's at 0.75. So I upped the flavoring amount, but I actually got less in here than the original recipe. We'll see how this turns out. I'm excited to try it out, but we'll see. And just like I said, the other one, it tasted more like a cinnamon-ish cereal than an actual like Cinnabon cheesecake like the thing, said it was. So to me, it felt like I was just missing a lot of stuff. It just was really weird, and I vaped through about half the bottle in the past week. So I don't know. We'll see how this turns out. But I feel like out of all of us, Sifu had the biggest issues with his.
Yeah. It's not. I mean, honestly, I think it's a good building component.
Mm-hmm.
But as far as a, all day vape, oof, more power to you. I mean, you like what you like, right? But jeez.
How old was that
Well, I guess
recipe?
that's just what it is, right?
Oh, that recipe, that's an excellent question. That recipe was March 29th, 2016. And it was made by VHM, which is they're like a big deal. They make this is a one shot. Vaping Home Mixers is the name of the person or the profile that made this. And this is a one shot. It says if you're too lazy to make it in the little reading here, it says get the one shot at Chef's Flavors, I think. So this is a one shot out in the world. Yeah, at Chef's Flavor and One Stop DIY Shop. And the credit goes to Betamax Ella Robinson. So,
yeah, because I think that was like the bigger thing we noticed with all our recipes is they were pretty old. Because I mean, let me see, mine was from 2015, so you got to keep in mind what like atomizers or whatever were around at that time. I feel like maybe with that it would have played a lot better.
Yeah,
I think that a lot of it is though is like nobody fucking mixes shit and reviews it or like leaves any sort of like rating. Like nobody does that because you look and there has to be like, let's be honest, there has to be something that's been done in the last 2 years that's like a fire fucking recipe that's been published, and you look through pages and pages and pages and pages and pages, and you'll be at a point where the newest recipe you've seen is 2017, and realistically there's been like one, maybe two for every 100 that are from before that when you go by the rating system.
Yeah.
So I just don't think that anybody really mixes anything and rates stuff. Which reminds me, I have to like write a rating on mine because
yeah,
totally
I still do too. I've been
I'm
actually trying it out to see where my feelings are on it.
I did it on the show so I wouldn't forget.
Oh no!
Last
See,
week,
I'm trying to be more. I'm trying to be really critical. Like, bro, you're missing this. You're missing that.
I'm not gonna say what they're missing. I'm just gonna say what I taste. Like that's to me, like it's not a critique. It's more like an experience.
Yeah.
So like I'm basically gonna say that like it was fine. You know, it was incredibly sweet, and I feel like it's kind of overflavored. But I don't know. Maybe that is a bit of a critique, I suppose.
So one of the big problems I had with last week's recipe was that it's called Lemon Twist Pink Punch. This does not taste like pink lemonade. It's straight like regular lemonade candy. That was one of the major problems I had with it. There was no pink at all. Mine, because I added the pink lemonade from Liquid Barn, which I think is way better than the Capella pink lemonade.
What the hell?
It's I'm getting that pink lemonade, the pink lemonade note. Because I lowered the percentages of the flavorings, I could have lowered the sweetener because it's still way sweeter than I would normally have it. But it's not bad. It's too sweet for me, but it's okay.
So this is the one that you just mixed tonight.
Yeah, it's basically tastes the same, only I'm getting the pink. It now tastes like a pink lemonade candy instead of a regular lemonade candy.
Okay.
It's not bad though. I like it, and I definitely like the airflow on this Temple 28.
Yeah, dude, it's way better airflow than the Turk. Me too.
See, I even rewicked the same atomizer, so it would be basically the same setup.
Oh, see, I kept the other one going so I could vape them both side by side.
Yeah, no, and I
Yeah.
understood what you were doing.
That's what I did. I got them both side by side. But I can tell you from right now, just off the knuckle test, that
Dude, that is so much better.
yeah, this will be better.
Because even like right off the shake, it was very muted. Like some of the flavors developed, but not the way that at least I would expect them to.
I can tell you right now that the one I mixed tonight is so much less sweet
Mm-hmm.
that I'm just so happy with just that one standalone point. Like, I don't feel like after every vape, like that other stuff with it having just so much sweetener, that the minute that I was done exhaling, it just felt like I had my mouth coated. You know, it's like, you know, when you eat Skittles and you get Skittles spit,
Yeah.
Yeah.
it was like
Mhm.
so sweet that is what I was like, literally getting like Skittle spit from that vape, because it was just so sweet, way sweeter than I normally would vape anything. And tonight's is a lot more, and the best thing is I can actually taste the watermelon
Nice.
instead of last week it was just like kiwi strawberry, and like the strawberry was low. That's also why I switched up the kiwi, because that kiwi double has like a real, to me it tastes like bubble gum. Like there's like a real bubble gum. It must be like the flavor that they put in like a strawberry kiwi bubble gum or something, so it just makes me think that I'm tasting bubble gum.
Anthony Romella has this question: is shaking the bottle above your head a PR tip or pro tip? I don't know. I feel like this is a Chris question
No.
since he's the pro tip guy.
Well, it all depends on what you're working with. Okay, if you're working with the right goods, then yeah, hell yeah, it's way more productive because you'll get like money thrown at you, and you'll also mix your liquid way better.
Yeah, you got more range of motion up here.
Yeah. Plus, if I shake it
eye
above my
contact
head,
is the
it looks
necessity.
like way less conspicuous than if I'm doing this.
Yes.
Yeah, pretty much.
And you got the liquid.
No, but I mean,
You got the
sometimes you
liquid
gotta like,
sloshing around.
you gotta fresh L3 it.
Yeah, like the staring at the camera. I do.
You got to put it close to the mic so you get the squishing sound.
Mm-hmm.
I need like a.
It's like when you mix up a 120 and you get that squishy sound so much more louder.
What are you doing? I'm just mixing up a 120.
Are you stirring macaroni?
Macaroni noises.
Okay, Tim, I'm going with I like my version more. It sounds pretentious and assholeish, but honestly, it has a little bit more. Has more to it. Like, I want to see how the flavors develop over time. I'm still going to wait the 7 days on it, but so far I'm liking it a hell of a lot more. It's not as muted. But
I'm also liking mine way more. Like,
Oh my god, infinitely better.
as I vape it, it's like it's actually quite nice. It's not too aggressive though.
mhm.
I think that what I like most about it is that it just feels so much more balanced than last week's, and I managed to do that with more flavorings and considerably lower percentages. So that's a
Yeah.
pro. If you're someone that was like very conservative with your concentrates, you can definitely do that with some flavorings. Like I think that a lot of people just like get in their brains like, oh, you know, I use strawberry, I want to get like around 4% of strawberry, or like I want to get 4% of watermelon, or however it is. And like you can kind of break it all down, and if you use the right flavorings or like specific flavorings, you can get like a really strong flavor at like 5-6%. You don't need to have it at like 20.
Mhm. And I mean, okay, like I was looking at the profile of the guy that mixed mine, the original mix. This dude stopped at least adding stuff or publishing stuff on ELR in 2017, and he only has what, a total of 7 recipes. So maybe he just kind of found what he liked and that was it. I don't know, just like even looking through some of his recipes, it reminds me of like when I started mixing, where you're a little bit afraid, kind of overdoing it with some flavorings and stuff. A lot of it looks very MTL, to be honest, but
Well, I'm just going to say that this is what I was hoping that it would be, the original. Um, it's weird because we're talking about percentages. I think his or their percentages was at 9%,
mm-hmm.
and there was no richness. It was very grainy, like a oat grain, like the AP was really just too much in the sharpness of vanilla. It just had a weird spicy note, just like raw dough, uncooked dough. Um, Mine feels more like a biscuit, like a true biscuit, like a southern biscuit, and it's at 6.75% flavoring.
Mm-hmm.
I'm guessing that's because of the custard premium, because it is a cheat code. It's not as buttery as the Cap V1. It's a little more eggy, which is more of what I think of as when the biscuit is done. The honeycomb is working real nice with the sugar cookie, and the vanilla is just floating there, like just a solid vanilla note. Like this has the potential. Hope that it has the potential to just accept whatever fruit stone that you would want to throw on it. I think, um, you know, it's rich. It's weirdly rich for only 6 3/4. For a custard bakery, you would normally think that it would be in the 12 to 13, 14% range to get this richness, but it's coming through like a champ right off the shake. I'm hoping the vanilla doesn't get burned out, but yeah, this is good. I think I'm kind of hitting on a real good stone um, base for a biscuit. Like my vision for this would be like a fig apple biscuit. So that would be baller, 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 and like not so much like a crumbly biscuit, more like a Grams with the flakes. You know, um,
Okay.
that's what I'm getting through here. Yeah.
I want to answer Tim's question here. He's asking, could the potency of flavorings change since they are older recipes? To a point, yes. Also, like at least like with mine, I remember when I first started mixing, a lot of people always started like a lot of tutorials would always tell you to start at 5% and work your way up or down from there. But nowadays, you kind of start more like at around the 1% level and work your way up because it's easier to just work up if you need to. And even then, like I mean, half of the time we're under 1% for most of our like flavorings and stuff. I mean, seriously, we don't really use that much,
Yeah, it
which is
also depends,
amazing.
like it's what you're trying to get out of it, right? Like
Mm-hmm.
there's certain things that you're going to use, and you're just in there to like add body, or you're putting in there to like accentuate another flavor that you're trying to showcase.
Mm-hmm.
So you might have something in there at 0.5%, 0.25%, 0.75%, but you still have those one, two flavors in a mix that might be at a higher percent, or you're trying to create something I think that's part of it, right? Like if you're like a beginner mixer, you're not going to try to create your own cookie in a profile that you're trying to make, right? You're not going to be like, I'm going to make an apple cream cookie and I'm going to create my own cookie. You're just going to be like, oh, I'm going to grab like cap sugar cookie and that's it. Well, if you're going to do it that way, then yeah, you're going to have to use more, like a higher percent of that.
Mm-hmm.
But if I like, oh, I want to make this kind of cookie, and you're using like 3 different cookies or 3 different flavorings to create that cookie, then you're going to use it at a lower percent. So I guess it all depends on like
Mm-hmm.
what you're trying to do and like how experienced you are.
Yeah.
And to follow up with Anthony Ramella, throat hit could be a combination of a few things. Depending on the mix, you can get a natural throat hit from the concentrate itself.
Especially
get
with
a
like certain
natural
fruits.
right. Like I know for like we were talking about the mind bender. The Inuara cactus has a natural throat hit and a natural sharpness, and you know, so I used a little bit of marshmallow in that mix to kind of knock that down a little bit because it was too much. Even at 3 milligram, it felt like 5 or 6 milligram. You know, so the concentrate itself can make it feel like a higher nic mix and just give you a throat hit, or it could be your nicotine.
Yeah, it could just be.
Um,
You
you
could
know,
have old
honestly,
nicotine. That sometimes
uh,
plays into it.
yeah, it depends on the quality of nicotine, and sometimes every now and then your VG can turn a little bit too.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if it's been sitting for a while, um, I when I was first mixing and I wasn't mixing a lot, I noticed that the older my VG got, the harsher my liquid got. I don't run into that problem anymore because I use VGs. I go through VGs so much. Your PG, I don't find that it turns as much as VG. Um, but especially if you're using a PG based nicotine, that's going to have more throat hit than a VG based nicotine. So the combination of your concentrate, your nicotine composition, and the age of your VG could give you a throat hit outside of what you're expecting from your normal nicotine level. So
Well, even like your ratios, right? Like
Mhm.
what are
yeah,
you mixing at? If you're mixing
yeah,
at like a 60-40, then it's going to be more harsh than if you're mixing at like an 80-20. So there's so many factors.
Mm-hmm.
I guess
well, you're saying
realistic.
that everything is new. Um,
Yeah, at that point, I would want to know what your ratios are,
yeah, I'd like to see the mix, you know,
and if you
just to
have like
see.
a big bottle of nicotine, do you recommend like fill up like a small bottle
Yeah,
and then refrigerate or freeze the rest of it? Honestly,
yeah,
don't
you
have it
will
sitting out too
get,
long.
if it's VG based, you will get a hot spot every now and then. Um, it's
I
just
find
a
that I just use PG nicotine because then I can pull it out, and by the time I'm ready, if I add it, like
Mm-hmm.
at the end, I guess realistically, I honestly most of the time what I do is it'll be sitting on my desk while I'm getting everything organized, and by the time I'm ready to go, like it's been out of the freezer for like 10 minutes. PG nicotine, it'll flow out of like a 120, no problem. Because the biggest bottle of nicotine I can buy is a 120. Well, from where I buy my nicotine from.
Yeah,
interesting.
but yeah, I mean, it just plays on way too much. I'd
Yeah,
have to know more of a little bit more of your process, I guess.
Yeah, it'd be
yeah,
like you saying that you have a car that sometimes it won't start. We need more information.
I
yeah. I
did.
mean, look, a cheat code for me is a combination of meringue and marshmallow to round off any sharp edges, especially throat hit. Um, because when I was developing Mindbender, it, I had none of those flavorings, and then after watching a one of Wayne's videos about additives, you know, because meringue and marshmallow are considered additives. You know, they do things to mixes without necessarily giving you a meringue or marshmallow flavor. You know, so I tried that, and it instantly shut. It still had a little bit of throat hit, which I wanted from a. I mean, you want it from a cactus liquid, but it wasn't so intolerable. I guess I don't even know if that's the right word, but so there are tricks that you could do if you like the balance of your mix and you don't want to alter it. You know, honestly, if you're getting the flavoring that you want, but you have throat hit, uh, you know, a 0.5% of meringue and a 0.5% of marshmallow will knock off a little bit of harshness without altering the taste of your mix. Um, but sometimes marshmallow, when it steeps out, it can get a little spongy. Um, I've noticed that with Mindbender after a long while, like a month plus, it can get a little spongy, but that's just the cactus separating from it. And if you just shake it up real good, it goes back to normal.
Mm-hmm.
So that's something to just be aware of too.
Very true. Was it when Tucky Shine asked if you guys knew of a good caramel? Adituni gave his 2 cents, but I wanted to see what you guys thought.
Okay,
I don't
well,
own a caramel.
Fair
I
enough.
actually really like flavor art caramel. Like I think it's called like caramello.
Hmm.
I haven't like had it so it's like the main thing. Like I've used it, like a caramel apple or whatever, and I find that it's pretty good. Adi gave us suggestions which I've not even tried.
I use butterscotch ripple for anything that I want a little bit of a caramel note to it.
Yeah, I've never used a caramel. I do like the butterscotch ripple, and then TFA butterscotch isn't bad. I've used that too.
Flavor art butterscotch is fire too. I love that shit.
Yeah, I know a lot of people use that one. Yeah.
See,
I
But for me, it's if I want a little bit of that syrupy, caramely kind of burnt sugar note, I just find the ripple just does that for me. I haven't really wanted because I'm not a big. I don't like RY4s. I don't like a big caramel note, especially like a candy caramel. I don't. That's not a profile that I enjoy. So I just kind of like. I'm kind of like Jay. He doesn't like banana, so he doesn't buy banana. So
yeah.
I did go through my. It's a different topic, but excuse me. I did go through on ELR and make a note on my recipe that I lowered. I did drop the sweetness back down to the normal 0.5%, and I'm gonna grab a 60 ml bottle later this evening and mix up another 30 with the lower sweetener amount, and then add this to it. Because I think that this, if the sweetener was a lot lower, this would actually be really good. I mean, it's kind of basic. I prefer my lemonades with some pizzazz, like mango or berry, but not too shabby.
Not too shabby.
Jazz hands.
It's gotta be fancy.
As far as
hey, James, yes, marshmallow too high will absolutely mute a mix. That's the kind of the point what I was getting at is that if you want, it will knock off some rough edges, which is technically muting that flavor. So yeah, if it goes too high, it will kill the whole thing, and then turn into Rice Krispie treat marshmallow sponginess. So I know I've tried it.
sponginess, I like that.
Oh, this is good. It needs more. No.
No. Yeah, I don't know. Like for me, caramels, most of them end up very muted. You got to keep in mind, a lot of it is still, it goes back to your own palate and how you treat it. Like, I still can't taste chocolate and shit, and it's very frustrating because I would like to try chocolate vapes, but I can't taste it at all.
Pencil eraser.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
No, I don't
mean
even-
vaping wise.
I don't even get pencil
Chocolate.
eraser. I get nothing. Like nothing.
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 So you're chocolate blind, like some people are strawberry blind.
Mm-hmm.
I did pick up my first chocolate. I got Inuwara milk chocolate. I haven't used it in a mix yet, but when I smell it, it doesn't even smell. It smells like dark chocolate to me.
Mm-hmm.
It's got more of that kind of a bitter note to it.
And see, I can smell it in the flavorings. I just can't taste it once I mix it into something. Because I mean, I did that chocolate heavy one a couple weeks back, and it was fine. It was sweet, but it didn't have like a chocolate note whatsoever.
Yeah, I have a white chocolate, but that tastes more like cream to me than
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's more of a
chocolate,
cream
you know what I mean?
base. Yeah.
I've used it for some things, kind of swapping it out with sweet cream or vanilla swirl just to see, kind of a booster to the middle of the mix. But no, I'm like you. Chocolate is not something that I remember. I liked the chocolate mix a while back. Who was Angel? Not Angel Tears. Homegrown Hero. Homegrown Hero had a tobacco chocolate. Voodoo Doctor, Witch Doctor.
Yeah, Witch Doctor.
That was fine. That was actually pretty good. I ate that pretty hard for a bit, and then I had the Ninja Man chocolate milk, and after I got through half of that bottle, and it took me 18 rewicks in that time frame, I was like, fuck this. You gotta go. I kind of never had a desire to try another chocolate. And then shortly after that, I tried that Five Pawns chocolate um, chocolate potato chip thing. Yeah, that was terrible.
Have you guys ever used the Capella Fizz Pop?
No.
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 It's supposed to be. It's like an additive
Mm-hmm.
to give kind of like
That fizziness to it.
that fizziness to it. I got it because Logan asked me if I could make like a soda for him. Thought I'd give it a shot.
I have a bunch of different soda ones because I do have one for Wonder Flavors, and I think there's one floating up there I can't see right now. It's probably hiding behind a different bottle. But
so
I have a thought about fizz in a vape. Honestly, I think trying to mimic the entire experience of a soda is kind of really hard to do with what we have. How can you get effervescence from something without actual
it's an
carbon
interesting
bubbles
thing.
in it?
Was
You know
it
what I mean?
Issa from was it Grindhouse E-Liquids when we went to Connecticut last year? He actually handed me an old bottle of this like lemon lime soda liquid. And I still have it, and I vaped through part of it, and it does have like that fizziness, and it's like the weirdest thing. It's kind of like Pop Rocks almost, where it kind of like still pops in your mouth a little bit. But it's a very interesting thing.
Weird.
It's like Baja Blast has a little bit of that too.
See, that's a good thought, Mitch, from James. What if you tried, you have a tendency to like really tart flavors like cranberry and lemonades. What if you tried like a cranberry with a chocolate?
Mm-hmm.
Like a cranberry chocolate.
sounds good.
Mm-hmm.
I always check in. Like I worked retail for too long. Like when I get my flavor orders, I always like meticulously go through the sheet to make sure everything's there and accurate. And I was because I have been like, oh, they missed a bottle. Oh, you need to resend that. Like what happened a couple months ago with that Yes Week cheesecake bottle.
Mm-hmm.
They forget the most expensive bottle on the sheet.
Yeah.
Like, but I was going through, and I had never tried Flavor Art custard. I just always go with like Capella Vanilla Custard V2. That's my bread and butter when it comes to custards. Look at how dark this bottle of Flavor Art custard is.
Yeah, dude. It's honestly okay, Mitch. I'm gonna tell you right now, it is absolutely nothing like Capella V2 custard at all.
Yeah,
at all.
That's kind of what I was getting, like the gist of from the notes. But I picked up in this order, since it's right here, I picked up a Capella sugar cookie, some more Capella pink lemonade, that fizz pop, Capella Bavarian cream, that custard, the Capella funnel cake, vanilla bean ice cream from Capella, vanilla cupcake V2, more of the cheesecake graham crust, the jungle flavors version, not the TFA vanilla swirl, more of the natural lemonade. I did pick up the Flavor Art Joy to try.
What is that? I've seen.
I keep wanting to get it, and I never do.
Who used that recently? What are you?
Mitch,
you had Joy in something recently?
No, it was.
No, I thought you did.
I did.
Yeah.
Okay.
Pretty sure.
But I picked that up because I wanted to try it. Flavor Art Blood Orange, Flavor Art Grapefruit. And I thought that the adding grapefruit to like one of the, like to this pink lemonade, if I do a version 2, to give it a little bit more kind of tang. Inuara biscuit. I wanted to try Flavor West's Greek yogurt because I was very underwhelmed with Liquid Barns. Some more of the Max Dew, and then Flavor West Tres Leche.
Ooh, you bastard!
Gotta get my Mexican on, my Tres Leche.
Dude, I want to get the Flavoro Chata, but it's so damn expensive.
On my Bull City order, I'm trying. I want to try the. I have a bunch of stuff coming from Bull City, and I picked up the one-on-one flan because I wanted to try that.
Wait,
We'll
Chris,
see how
did you
that
say
goes.
that's not that expensive?
That's not really that expensive, man. Honestly. Dude, okay, you know, I can't remember who makes it right now, but it's Alpine Strawberry. Is that Flavora?
I don't know.
Alpine strawberry.
I think
Let
so.
me look it up right now.
Okay,
Dude,
Sifu's on it.
At Dash Vapes, for a 30 ml bottle, it's over $30 for that one concentrate.
God damn.
Yeah, and I was like, I'll never order
Wait,
that.
Is
I
that for a
refuse to pay that.
15?
30. It's for a 30.
Okay.
Dude, it'd
I'll-
be
like, I
cheaper for
normally
one of us to
too
buy it and mail it.
expensive. It's still too expensive, but still it's a 30 at least.
Yeah, but dude, that's over $25. I bet it's close to
Oh,
$30.
it's a Flavora. It's $12.10 for a 10 mil.
for a 10 mil.
Holy crap.
What
And
the
it blew
actual
my mind. I was
fuckballs?
like, I'll never ever buy that ever,
Mhm.
because I normally pay for like for a Flavora flavoring. I pay around $12 for a 30 mil Canadian.
What
So
the
that's
fu-
about $9.
$32.70 for a 30 mil of Alpine strawberry.
Yeah, dude.
Man, I mean, does that strawberry just mix itself? Is
say,
that what
yo.
happens?
I said YEW.
When you dump it into your bottle, just gold falls out.
Yeah.
No, dude. Basically, when it goes into one of these bottles, it makes whatever recipe you have the best you've ever baked.
Mhm.
That's what it is.
$75 for a 120.
I thought it's supposed to get cheaper when you buy more.
Okay, so
Oh,
it's
you
made
don't-
with
Not with
it's
that.
made with the tears of virgin milkmaids. That's
Well, you got to think, right? There's not a single commercial recipe that's going to use that flavoring. No way.
holy
No way.
fuck.
No.
No.
It costs so much money. But yeah, Sifu, I used
And if
the
it does,
flavor
it's like
Joy
a drop.
So what
episode
is that
12.
profile? What is joy?
Okay, so to me, it's like a spice. It's like the spices you get in like an old-fashioned donut.
Okay. Like
You know-
without the
you know,
glaze. Without the glaze, just a fried.
Just
Crumble
yeah, like the
donut.
fried spice donut. Like to me, that's what it tastes like.
So cinnamon.
Okay, okay, yeah, sure, but not like it's not like you're like ooh. It'd be like if you went and you got like I said, just a regular old-fashioned donut, or like even a funnel cake kind of, but
Oh yeah.
not the fried part, but like you know how like a funnel cake kind of has like that
When you lick your fingers.
little bit of
it's got the-
spice.
Yeah.
like it.
Wow,
Yeah, that's what
really?
I would say. It's more like.
You see what Cloud King
But I
Cody
I
said?
used it in the carrot cake mix.
A quarter to a half. I want to see there's only 11 reviews on Bull City, but let's see. A little bit goes a long way. Not sweet, but earthy tasting. Pricey, but only need a few drops. This guy gave it a 2-star rating. I was very disappointed. Yes, it goes a long way, but even when it is properly mixed, it's very rich, strong tasting.
Dude,
So he was
red
mad that it
touch.
tasted
love-
strong.
I love the reviews where they just go hard, where
Yeah.
they're just like, this is complete and utter garbage because of complete trash.
Yeah.
I think that you're the problem.
At a
This
point,
guy's
how
like-
did you mix it?
this
and
guy's
did you
st-
let it steep?
Yeah, this guy's like, it says the ultimate strawberry! Exclamation! Exclamation! This is
Even
the
like,
best strawberry out there. Dot
the
dot
last-
dot. Period.
The last
Exclamation.
show I was on with Fresh, they were talking about some flavoring and how like this other show he had been on, somebody hated it and they were like, it's garbage. I don't know why anybody would buy this. And then he's all like, do you still have the bottle? He's like, yeah. He's like, when was the last time you vaped on it? Like a month ago? Try it now. They're like, oh my God, it's so amazing.
Hey, Clown, it's funny that you said that, like, you were talking about the apple fritter liquid,
Mhm.
because
Are you making one too now?
last night I couldn't sleep, and so
Uh-huh.
I'm like, I got my tablet out and I have like my stash up and I like started, I'm kind of working on some different donut stuff. Like that mango donut that I made a while back kind of has my wheels turning. And so I haven't mixed it yet, but I did make a recipe that I'm calling On the Fritz. And it is using apple pie Capella at 1.5%.
Oh, apple pie Capella.
It's like a fritter.
Apple filling Capella, dude, is amazing.
Well, dude, I got the baked apple from, is it SSA? I don't even know what brand it is, but that's what but that baked apple smells super good. Like that's the apple that I'm going hard on. The apple pie is just kind of like a side note. Cinnamon Danish, the cinnamon sugar, Silverline Capella, funnel cake from Capella. I did use a little bit of the Joy, super sweet. The sweet bread crust, the Flavor Express, a little bit of 2 apples Inawara, and some Zapola. And I'm hoping that ends up being kind of apple fritter-ish. It came out to.
Didn't they make 11%. One last night on like DIY or Die? Did they do that last night?
I don't know.
No, I didn't. I didn't watch it. I have no idea.
All right, so what me and Mitch got to do at this point is send each other a bottle and see, compare and contrast.
See whose fritter is better.
And then I'll send you.
I haven't even made it yet.
I'll send you the guava lemonade too, because we ended up making the same thing, or the mango blackcurrant lemonade. Since we got something similar going there too.
I still have never, like, I don't even own anything blackcurrant. I've never vaped a blackcurrant. I like over the counter. I mean, from a vape shop, I've never had one that I liked, and I've kind of scared off. Like, I'm sure that I would like one that like one of you guys made that had blackcurrant in it, but I don't know. I've just never been a real big fan.
Yeah,
Chris, you're a blackcurrant super freak.
Yeah, I love blackcurrant. I like.
Well, yeah, he's English. Look at him.
Oh, half a spot tea.
He went Irish on us.
I was very poor. I'm sorry.
That's
England.
funny.
That was very poor.
The queen is gonna come down on your house, bro, and she can't because you guys are.
My daughter's been on like a Peppa Pig rampage, and so and she's 2 years old and she's using a British accent. Like she's so. It's so funny to hear her try and talk like she has a British accent. It's awesome.
Dude, my daughter was big into
but I'll be like, hello, Peppa.
My daughter was big into Ni Hao Kai Lan. She would just walk around the house going, Ni Hao. I'm like, okay.
Ni Hao.
Yeah, I'll say to her, I'll be like, hello, Peppa. And she'll go, hello, George.
I like
George,
Daddy Pig.
Daddy Pig.
I like that meme where they're like, no, great. We like grown-up music. And then they start playing Suicide Silence or some shit.
Yeah.
It's fucking amazing.
I think the best Peppa Pig meme is whenever, she gets the phone call. It's like she asks him something and it's like gives him a bullshit answer and she just click, hangs up.
In one of the episodes, Granny Pig in her history club, they were pretending to be Roman, and she's marching around wearing like Roman armor, going "Vini Vidi Vici," and my daughter is like marching around the living room trying to say "Vini Vidi Vici."
That's funny.
I'm like, you're
too.
Yeah, stop.
About Peppa.
Some of those cartoons are so meta.
Kids. It's okay, man. You're not missing out.
Oh, dude, some of the stuff they get away with in cartoons is so meta. It's yeah.
Oh, you mean the fact that all the pigs on Peppa Pig, like especially the men, their faces don't look like pig faces. They look like an old wrinkly like male genitalia.
Yeah.
Like that's the nicest way to put it, but that's what they look like.
It looks like cock and balls. Cock and balls.
Well, on that note, we're 5 minutes over on the show. Felt like that was a good segue right there. thank you everybody for joining us. We're gonna do our sign offs and all that stuff. Let's see, who haven't I picked on? Overdrip, you're on, man.
All right. Well, thank you everybody for coming for our remix this week. If anybody has anything that they want us to mix next week, because I don't think we have a plan yet. Well, it's something we'll have to figure out. I did have a request though from someone, and I wish I could remember who said it, but they said that they wanted us to have a candy episode, which that might kind of fall in line with Halloween. So I'm not saying that'll be next week, but that might be in the coming weeks.
Yeah, we'll do it closer to Halloween.
Other than that, I'm just gonna say, check out the Green Room Friday nights on Frames Janklin Vaper's YouTube channel. Check out ShedTimePodcast.com because it has everything to do with the Green Room on there, as well as the Shed Time Podcast, which new episodes every week on Sundays. It'd be great. Anybody out there, if you want, we're doing a big. It's going to be a followers giveaway on SoundCloud. So if you want, you can go by SoundCloud. Just give us a follow. You can listen to it wherever you want. You don't even have to listen to it to win. You just have to follow us on SoundCloud. So that's something you guys can do. Other than that, I'm just going to say thanks, boys. It was a good episode. Glad Sifu was here. Hopefully everything goes well with you, sir. And you know what? I'm done. I'm going to pass it to Sifu.
Thank you. It's so good to be back. I needed a reprieve from everything that's been going on, and always have a good time here. And thanks for everybody tuning in. Help me out. Buy some liquids, please. I need all the help I could get right now. So also, I'm still selling Duchess's stuff. Hit me up. All of the money goes back to him. Good dude, good people. And
for sure.
Just like us on ELR, hit up one of our mixes, go get the mixes, go get the concentrate for our stuff and mix it, and then come in and let us know if it sucked or if it was great. We all feedback is good feedback, whether it's good or bad. That's how we get better.
Absolutely.
Just thank you. That's all I have for right now. See you on the internets. Mitch?
All right. Great show, fellas. Yeah. You can find me on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Discord. I check out our mixes on ELR. I think it's 2 episodes ago or last week's episode of the Rise and Vape podcast. They did a roundtable episode with some of the Rave Club, and you can hear me on there. I actually gave a shout out to Sifu because they were talking about mixing, and I brought up the marshmallow and meringue trick that I've adopted from you, sir. But yeah, and what's really great about that episode is when Duchess does his shameless plug, he plugs everybody but himself. Like, he plugs all of you. Like, all you guys, he plugs. He plugged for probably a minute and a half his send-off. He just plugged basically every stooge that has any sort of product or is on any kind of show. It's pretty great. Listen to it just for that.
He's just a guy, man. He is the dude of dudes. He is the dude.
Dude,
but
Duchess,
yeah,
if you're watching
thanks
the
for
replay
hanging out,
right
everybody
now.
in chat, and we will catch you next week.
Yeah.
Take it away, clown.
Like I was saying, Duchess, if you're watching the replay, seriously, dude, thanks for the Instagram shout outs you do every week for us. That's top notch. Yeah, as for me, go check out, if you want coils, juice, any of that fun stuff, hit me up. I have jars for days on coils at this point because that's all I've been doing. I've been enjoying myself on that. And then if you guys want a Mixing It Up t-shirt, go check out the Teespring. Pick one up. Rep the show. People ask you what the hell does Mixing It Up mean. You can send them our way. And like the guy said, go check out our ELR recipes. Let us know what you guys think of them. Honestly, we want some feedback here so we know if we're doing pretty good to other people's palate or not. And I think that is it. Yeah, just be on the lookout for reviews whenever the hell I get around to them. But yeah, thank you guys for joining us. And as always, mix on, vape on. Yeah. Woo! I still miss the Sifu spin.
Oh, I missed my chair.
Bye.